This is your 420 Radio News for Thursday, July 25th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. DEA serves search warrants on marijuana storefronts from King 5 in Seattle. Several search warrants involving marijuana storefronts in King, Pierce, and Thurston counties were executed Wednesday, according to the Drug Enforcement Administration. Criminal defense attorney Douglas Hyatt said he was made aware of 4 raids. Quote, "What we heard from a DEA agent that talked to one of my clients that was at the scene was that there were 18 targets or 18 places that they were going to hit," end quote, said Hyatt. In Olympia, Casey Lee said DEA agents raided his clinic, Bayside Collective. Quote, "It's humiliating," said Lee, who told King 5 News the DEA seized documents and about $2,500 worth of marijuana meant for cancer patients. Drug testing bill whizzes through Senate without debate. This from newsobserver.com. The North Carolina Senate and House have agreed to a conference bill that would drug test suspicious welfare recipients and expand background checks on them. House Bill 392 passed in the Senate on Thursday in a 32-4 vote without debate, despite concerns raised in the House on Wednesday that drug addicts might get turned away instead of being encouraged to get help. The bill keeps existing Department of Social Services processes intact. They currently conduct interviews and administer written tests to figure out if an applicant is using drugs. But under the bill, those applicants county DSS offices reasonably suspect of drug use would need to submit to a drug test in order to receive benefits through the Work First program. Those applying would have to pay for the tests and would then get reimbursed if they test negative. The bill has been sent to the governor for his signature. Who really benefits from illegal marijuana in New Jersey? From Philly.com by Chris Goldstein. The Joint Committee for Ethical Standards at the New Jersey Legislature on Tuesday dismissed a complaint filed against Assemblywoman Mary Pat Angelini, Republican of Monmouth, who had been accused of appearing to benefit from the Garden State's marijuana laws. A law passed last year, Senate Bill 881, forces some of those arrested for drug offenses, including any amount of marijuana, into state-contracted, sometimes custodial substance treatment programs. A judge must deem the offender to be addicted to cannabis. It started as a pilot program in northern New Jersey. It will cover the entire state in 3 years. Angelini is the executive director of a nonprofit called Prevention First, a company whose mission focuses on youth addiction and even violence issues. While Prevention First does not operate any substance treatment centers, they do provide the training and state certifications required for those who work within those facilities. Prevention First also facilitates directories of drug treatment facilities and options in Monmouth County. The core issue in the complaint was if Assemblywoman Angelini was garnering a personal profit by voting against medical marijuana access, voting against decreasing penalties for adults caught with small amounts of cannabis, and voting in favor of S 881. The Joint Committee concluded that Angelini could express her opinion and vote on the bills because any benefit would be to her entire industry and not her nonprofit specifically. The committee members compared it to a legislator who was a bank executive who sponsored and voted for bills favoring all financial institutions. Prevention First spent more than $1 million in 2011 to pay their staff, consultants, and professional service fees. $91,000 went to its executive director, Mary Pat Angelini, as her salary. Angelini also pulls in the base salary of $49,000 from the state for her part-time gig as an assemblywoman. Colorado's weed problems could spell trouble for marijuana legalization from TheVerge.com. According to an audit released last week, regulators in Colorado's largest city are still struggling to keep up with its booming medical marijuana business. Despite an influx of weed tax revenue, local agencies remain understaffed, underfunded, and woefully disorganized. Records on licensed vendors are incomplete or inconsistent, and oversight is spotty at best. As the report notes, Denver officials don't even know how many weed dispensaries are currently in operation or where they're located. Team Hemp House launches drive to build first Colorado house made of hemp products from westward.com. Hemp advocate Jason Love has a new endeavor, Team Hemp House, the goal of which is to build a hemp demonstration house in Colorado. On Monday, Team Hemp House launched an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign to raise $350,000 in 60 days. That money will go toward purchasing the approximately 3 acres of hemp needed to build the house. Ideally, the hemp would be grown in Colorado, processing the hemp into building materials such as hemp concrete, securing a building site, contractors and architects, and paying staff to oversee the project and make sure the house adheres to building codes. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, July 25th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and take a look at the state of Utah, where their concealed firearms permits are recognized in more states than any other in the United States. How does this conflict with medical marijuana laws in some of those states? We'll tell you when we come back. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be back right after this.